Hey everyone, Andy Rasheed here from Small Drum Revolution. This is the Dobro edition, or the Dobro prototype edition. So what we've got today, we'll have a quick look at a couple of prototypes. The point of these is to trial ideas, see how they work in reality, use them. They're either better or worse. We adopt the good ones and we take them forward, and we leave the lesser ideas behind. I've done an enormous amount of R&D to try and come up with my own solutions, I guess, to create instruments in a way that makes sense to me. So I couldn't really find my way into traditional building. It never really made sense to me. So I've kind of had to come up with my own strategies, for better or worse. I've hinged most of my development in circular soundboards and working out a bracing strategy to maximise energy. And so the premise of everything that I'm making is that you've got this vast amount of structure that holds all of the components that you want to actually move and vibrate. They're incredibly supported and given maximum opportunity. So I'm trying to find efficiencies everywhere that I can within the instrument. So I'm using really high-grade plywoods for my soundboards. I've got my bracing system. I'm sinking the actual backs of the instruments under a false back, so there's no loss of energy. Trying to look at ergonomics, trying to make instruments that are nice to hold, that are easy to play and easy to manage, basically. So one of the things that I'm trying to do is to look at this sort of three-prong version of the overall package, which is function, ergonomics and design, and to try and have this balance where those three are equal in their influence over the instrument. So part of what I like is to show the outside show the structure, show the inside of the instrument as part of the outside. So wherever possible, I will make a feature of my structural components and try and give that real sense of, well, these are the bits that make it work. Have a look at them. If they're well-refined ideas, then they're going to be beautiful. That's kind of how I feel. I mean, I'm mechanically minded. I love looking at things that are refined for purpose. And so part of what I'm doing here is to create instruments that are kind of devoid of bling, really, but they're elegant. I'm trying to work my way towards an elegant design, something that's really balanced. So, Dobros. What's a Dobro? So a resonator guitar comes in three flavours. You've got a Dobro, which is this one here. So we've got a spider bridge, which is a cast aluminium bridge, and then you've got a resonator cone, which is thin, probably like 0.3, 0.4, maybe even less than that, thick aluminium spun cone. These things are two separate things. You've got a little screw that holds them together in the centre, and this just rests on the cone. And if you look at the edge of this cone, the only part, so underneath here is a big hole, and the cone sits on an edge of the guitar. So this is flat, and then it comes up, this ridge here comes up, and that's actually a spring. So everything can actually move from this point here. The whole thing's actually able to pulsate. So this is a mechanical speaker, and all of the resonators are mechanical speakers. So the other version that is closest to this is a biscuit bridge, and so that the part where that touches the instrument is lower in the guitar, and the cone comes up to a circular biscuit, which is a piece of, traditionally I think a piece of maple that's got a bridge across the centre of it. Different sound, slightly shorter, more plunky sort of a tone, but still great projection. I have made one of them. I didn't really resonate with it as such. I really love my tricones and my Dobros. So that's the other version. There's one back here, tricone. So that's a T-piece bridge with 3 small cones, and they're even more like a steel string guitar, but loud and with their own particular voice. Dobro traditionally is used as a soloing instrument for bluegrass and blues and country sort of music. That's traditionally where it's had its most traction. I really love the sound of Dobros. They have a nasal sort of quality about them. So what I love that quality, and what I've tried to do with these 2 guitars are quite different things. So I'm not really interested in making traditional instruments. I like using the facility of traditional hardware and then put that into a different body and see what we can achieve. So I'm still trying to facilitate all the necessities that you'd expect from a Dobro, but probably if you looked at a Dobro, the tonal range is probably higher and a bit more condensed. It's a soloing instrument, needs to fit in with lots of other instruments, so you don't want to have that sort of spread too much. This instrument's probably closest to that. This one is a jumbo-bodied, a jumbo-bodied Dobro, built more to be like a Weizenborn, I guess, or that real dreadnought, big-bodied, deep, robust sort of a sound. So probably I would imagine that this instrument would be much more at home as an accompanying instrument for a singer-songwriter or someone maybe playing solo stuff or in a duo. It's probably not as bitey, so it has its own voice. So that's the deal with this one. This is a rough instrument. It wasn't designed to be a refined, finished piece. There's some mistakes. I've got a delamination issue that I had here. I've gone on to make a solid wood neck. I'm actually building the sister of this guitar, which is a tricone that should be finished really soon, and that's got the same shape, but it's a solid wood neck. So this one has a sound well that doesn't reach the back of the guitar. So traditionally in a Dobro, what you would have is a maple ring that runs from the top of the guitar to the back of the guitar that provides this enormous amount of structure. So it's kind of part of the cue for me was to look at how they were maximising the sound of this instrument, and that is around structure. So they place the cone onto this incredibly robust part of the instrument, and the energy going into the cone, string energy, goes into the bridge, goes into the cone, that can move. The main part of that energy is held within the ring. The ring's got 9 holes around it to let air and vibration out of that part of the guitar. But I think that's kind of the epicentre of the instrument. What I've done here is to make a shallow sound ring, sound well, so it doesn't actually reach the base of the instrument, so the whole back of the guitar is free to do its thing. So once again, spoke bracing. This is the back of this instrument is actually two circles but complete, so it's one single back across there rather than 2 separates. I think that sort of covers this one. We'll look at this instrument. So the premise of this was still probably a little bit more agricultural than where I've gotten to. This one is probably a bit overweight as well. So I've got a very, very structural sound well underneath here that actually does go all the way down to the bottom of the instrument. But doesn't reduce. So I've still got like a full-size back on this one. So there's a vast amount of structure in this instrument. And I've got this ergonomic neck come leg design. We have a handle because all good guitars should have handles. This instrument has seen a lot of use. I love this instrument. It's got a beautiful, rich voice. It's got nice attack. It's doing everything that I want it to do. It sounds magnificent recorded. It's probably just a bit agricultural in its execution. So if I was making this style of instrument now, I could pull probably 0.5 kilo out of it without any drama, and make something that's just a bit more refined. But this has probably been used for as many hours as it took to make, and that's my sort of gauge, I guess, if something's successful as an object. If you use it for as long as it takes to make it, you win. So I've been really chuffed with this instrument. So we've got circular soundboard. The back is behind a false back. We've got our spoke bracing, and we've got a horn. So this is the slight passive amplification and direction of sound out towards your audience. We've got a sound hole for the player here. So this is more or less the Dobro version of the Promise, but as a full-size instrument. Both of these are 648mm scale length, so they're a fairly traditional scale length. I've got a brass nut here, and I've got an aluminium bridge. So I bought this at great expense. It was very expensive, and it did actually make a significant difference to the tone of the instrument. And since then, I've been making my own tail pieces out of mild steel. So there's even more mass, but I can manufacture them at a fraction of the cost, which is good, and create a lovely tonal response. So yeah, so there you go. So as always, the tuners are facing up for ease of operation. This is ergonomically a really satisfying instrument to play. It's quite easy to hold. Sounds lovely. Well, I think it sounds lovely. So yeah, I'll get set up and we'll do a demo.